they have different style of parenting. They have inclusive parenting and non-inclusive parenting. So I was brought up in an environment where the parenting style was a non-inclusive one. Because my grandparents were not always around. Now I had so many uncles and so many aunties in the house. Talking about 22 children in one building. Now we have all sorts of persons in there. We have criminals, we have smokers, we have cultists, we have prostitutes, we have all sorts. We have pastors, all sorts in the same under the same roof. Me, while I was in the university, I was almost killed, not once, not twice.
My God.
Because I was the leader of a gang, of a cult group. There was this day, I just finished my lectures. I was going home, going to my hostel. So I was on the bike, and I noticed that a vehicle was following me, and then we had a fight with another rival group. So as I was going on the bike, I turned around and I saw that the occupants of the vehicle were members of the rival gang.
My God.
And I said, oh, now today my own finish. And I was having regrets already because I was seeing my death. Now I said, if I take this bike now to where I was staying, because where I was staying was like a newly developed area, so there were bushes all around. So if I take my bike and stop there, these guys will just ambush me there and kill me. Now I said, where will I stop? I look at a very busy spot. It was this campus gate. I stopped at the campus gate, and I was having a sling bag on. So I turned the sling bag to make them feel that I had a weapon in the bag. Now I turned the sling bag, and then when the car stopped, they all came down from the vehicle and they were approaching me. Now I recognized two of them inside, and I started calling out their names. And I was saying, so now won't kill me. Now you won't kill me. Now you won't kill me. Waiting I do you, And I was backing out. And I was putting my hand in the sling bag. So I don't know if it was God that saved me or the boys thought that I was going to shoot first. And then they entered their vehicle. And then they left. That's just one of the experience. Now, cultism has actually destroyed the society. It has eaten so deep into the society. So the ripple effect has actually cascaded. From ripples, it has turned into a cascade, and it's now having a waterfall effect on the society. Now, what do I mean by this? You find out that because it wasn't curtailed, then say from like 1990s, the early 90s, it wasn't curtailed. It spread. Now we used to hear of universities, of cultism only in universities, because it was actually founded in a university. Going way back to the 1960s, talking about the likes of Wole Soyinka, when they came together, him and some of his friends, due to the nature of oppression in the school system. So they said, okay, what do? Let's come together. We give ourselves a name and fight against the oppression of these leaders in the university system in a very civil manner. I stress it, a very civil manner. That was how it was vetted, And then, when you form a system, if there are no checks and balances of that system, the system tends to overwhelm you.
That's true.
Now it overwhelmed them because the more the day goes by, the more they have new members, and the more you have new members, you begin to have diverse opinions, different mindsets.
That's right.
Some have their own mindset of coming to join the confraternity, because they saw it as a means of running away from the home, of having late nights, of going out to parties. They saw it as a means of getting revenge on people that are stepped on their toes. So that was how it started in the university system. And other people they saw that, these guys, they are using this color red. Why don't we go with our own name? They have something like a splinter cell. They broke out. Say, okay, let's go with our own name. Let's use the color yellow. From the color yellow, they found out that they had another splinter cell in color yellow group. Those ones broke out. They said, oh, let's still remain color red, but with a different name. Some say, okay, now let's go form our own entirely, our own group of persons. Let's use the color black. Some say, let's use the color green. And that was how the thing started spreading like a wildfire in the universities. Now, coming down to the secondary school level, how it penetrated into the secondary school level. When these guys in the university, when they are on holidays, when they are back in town, they look, okay, how do we make money? There is no thing for us to do. Okay, let's introduce this thing to these secondary school boys. Now, how do they start it? At the spots where they go to smoke marijuana, they look for the young ones that are very vulnerable, the ones that look so tough, and then they begin to sell this idea to them. So, okay, don't worry, call some of your other friends. I will be the one to do the initiation. I will give you the name. I will give you backing. Don't worry, I will come with guns from the university, because that was where the guns were domiciled. So they infused it into the secondary school system, and the way it spread in the university system, that was how it also spread in the secondary school system. It used the same format. So we now had it all over the secondary schools in Nigeria at large. Then it now left the school systems into the communities. Now, these guys that are not in school say, oh, we would like to be like these guys that are in school. We like the way they dress, and then they come around them. When they come around them, they smoke together, they get some discussions, and before you know, the topic of cultism will be brought up. And they started introducing those community boys into cultism. And that was how cultism came to everyone's doorstep in Nigeria. So it's very terrible. Now, while I was in a university at Okija, I was rusticated in my final year because of this same cultism, because we were caught off campus doing initiation for some students. You know, and during my final year, a 5 years course, I was rusticated. You can imagine the pain it brought to my parents, and the shame it brought to them, and the shame it brought to me. You know,
so pathetic.
So pathetic, my brother. I'm telling you. You know, there was also a time. This one is really serious. I think 2001 or 2002. There was an election, a local government election going on at in Imo State. So we're contracted by one political party. Yes, we're contracted about 4 called groups. Were contracted to do this job. Guess what? How much? 20,000 naira.
Individual.
For individual. 20,000 naira to go and lay your life. To go and play with your life. You know, and when we got to Owerri, the city capital, they took us to an hotel. They gave us guns. They provided the guns for us. Now the next day was the elections, and they told us to disrupt every polling booth in that locality. And they gave us vehicles, and then we started moving. We're moving from polling unit to polling unit, carrying the ballot boxes. You know, there was a time I went down to carry one of the ballot boxes. After carrying the ballot box, because there were also resistance. The indigenes were fighting back. You know, there was resistance, and I carried the ballot box. Unknowingly for me, the truck that I was supposed to occupy had already started moving. Had already started moving. If I wasn't in possession of that ballot box, they would have gone without me. And guess what would have happened to me? I would have been killed.
Indeed.
Now they saw that I was with the ballot box. They now slowed down. I ran and I climbed into the moving vehicle. Now, that same day, I think during around the evenings where the results were kind of being collated, and this particular party saw that they were losing the elections.
My God.
And then they gave an order that we should go and destroy the INEC office. We should go, because then the traditional ruler of that community was an opposition member. They said we should go and destroy the king's palace. And guess what? We went. We went. Some of our guys, they went to the IDEC office. Me, I went with some other persons to the king's traditional palace. And then we set it so places that please.
My God.
2 lives were lost.
My God.
Now, the next day, we were at the rendezvous point they made for us.
Okay.
We were there, and then they said they were going to bring money for us so we can go back to school. Then, guess what? We're doing exams. So we were supposed to go back to school that Sunday, and then so we can continue our exams. So we're waiting for our money. The next thing we saw trucks of army personnel, Nigerian army personnel, coming to that our rendezvous point.
My God.
And that is another story entirely. The ordeal there. Nigerian army.
Indeed.
Like the ones that are trained to stop riots, because they were on grasses.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They were on
understand.
grasses. They called the commissioner of police of Imo State.
Wow.
He drove in. The Black Maria was following, and instantly he came and said, "Oh, these are the criminals. They are finished."
Wow.
I saw my life ending basically in front of my eyes. And we were bundled, thrown into the Black Maria,